Hey, everybody, I'm Kelly Ellers,
I'm Jeffrey London.
and this is Volume Up by the Tees. Here we are, Jeff. We're in July. Welcome, July.
How the hell did it happen?
I know, don't we say that every month? It
No,
sounds
but
so
like,
cliche. Like,
but
oh,
but
we're
it,
here.
but June felt real fast, especially because we were
Yeah.
doing so much at like the beginning of the month, and I
Yes.
felt like it was going, and then
Yes.
all of a sudden it was like boom, and now we are here. So
It brings on the summer concert series, right? And I went to I went to a
does it
summer
ever?
concert this Saturday, and it's going
Mhm.
to mean absolutely nothing to you because it was a
Nope.
country concert. Where are my country girls at? And
I'm sure they're
guys,
here. I'm
for
sure.
sure. Come on. Anyway, it was Morgan Wallen, and opening for him was Ella Langley and Miranda Lambert, which was like fully loaded. And to bring this all the way back around to
Miranda
hair,
Lambert is opening for Morgan
that's
Wallen.
I it make no sense at all, right?
I mean, even I know, and I don't follow country, that she's been around.
Oh,
She's a
I mean,
like established act.
yeah, it was so weird.
Okay,
She,
sorry.
yeah,
I don't
anyway,
want to
we
digress.
digress.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. So Ella Langley is stunning. If you don't know what she looks
I'm
like,
gonna
you
look
can
her up
Google
right
her
now
right
because
now.
I've
Just tap, tap,
never
tap, tap, tap. Go
never
ahead.
heard of her. Never in my
And
life.
she is just a country darling, and she has the most luscious, beautiful hair ever. So, stylist, I wonder if you're going to get asked to have the Ella Langley cut because it's kind of very layered, very, very long. Sometimes she even puts feathers in her hair. I know we've talked about these little add-ons, but
Uh-huh.
that's very country. But the real kicker is these beautiful curtain bangs that she has.
Very
And
French girl.
oh, isn't it stunning? I mean,
It's
come
very
on.
good.
She has this little hack that she shared with her fans on TikTok, to keep her bangs in place at these summer concerts, Jeff. And she takes a little bit of eyelash glue, just dab, dab, dab right on the front of her forehead and sticks them down just oh so nicely because you're watching her.
Huh.
Jeff is in, Jeff is in awe. Honestly, though, that's pretty smart,
No,
right?
it is very
Like
smart.
you could
I'm shocked that she's revealing the secret.
Yeah, but
Hmm,
she's dancing and twirling, and so those bangs, you probably never had curtain bangs, Jeff,
no.
but they can become annoying. It's like the adage of like, "Oh, I cut my bangs, now they're there forever." And so I'm telling you, ladies, a little bit of eyelash glue, and you've got
Hmm.
a solution. So
Hmm.
anyway,
I mean, I'm looking at her feeds. Those bangs are not moving. So
they're
she's
really
doing
not
something right.
moving. I know.
She's committed to
Hot
the
tip,
look.
hot tip, hot tip. Anyway, are you going to any summer concerts, Jeff?
Um, I think that we might be doing Lady Gaga. She's coming to the
Wow.
Bay.
Okay.
And I
Ooh.
was waffling because we put out, a pretty penny for Beyonce for Cowboy Carter. And I was like, well, do I do Gaga too? Like
Yeah,
that's
I don't
maybe too
know.
much.
Yeah.
But also I don't want to miss it. And she's doing three shows, so it's like, eh. So
The
I think
third
we're
one's
going
for
to be,
you.
yeah,
Okay.
I think it may be. And I'm gonna reach out to Frederica Spears and see if we can chat. So there's that. So stay tuned.
Yes.
But that's also happening this month. So
Woo.
July, I mean, really making the most of the summer.
We are. We're just gonna fly right through it, I'm sure. And I'll
Mhm.
see you in August. And we'll come back and say, wow, it's
It's
August.
August.
Oh,
Sorry,
riveting
everybody, in
content.
advance.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway. All right, let's get into our celeb photos of the week. Please
Mm.
follow along on these looks. They are either in our show notes or on our Instagram. So you can follow along, pull it up now, but we're gonna post them there. Let's get started. Okay. The wedding happened. We don't even need to go
Oh yeah,
into the
no, it's
wet.
not.
Like I'm not even
Thankfully,
going to
I clicked the
mention the
link. Thank
wedding.
God it's not the wedding hair. I was gonna riot, and just like dunk on them, but we can dunk on this because this I hate too.
It's bad.
Okay, so it is promo, like it's BTS from a Skims campaign that Kim
Yeah,
has done in collaboration with Roberto Cavalli. I feel like she is one of the few people trying to make Roberto Cavalli relevant in the year of our
come back.
Lord 2025. She's really got a thing for like trash Italian design.
Interesting. I've never thought of that before,
But
Jeff.
she does Dolce and
She does.
Gabbana.
Yeah.
There's a few
Huh.
others. Yeah, so we got
What
Kim
do we
and
have?
Chris. Chris with her new face looking,
Yeah, looking
a year
young.
older than than
Young.
daughter Kim. Kim also with the new face question mark, and that's why we've got a trash
Oh,
wig to distract from the fact that
come
we've seen it
on.
before. That's their whole trick, right? That they go blonde when they get facial work done. So you comment on the
What?
that is what is alleged. Alleged that the
Wow.
Kardashian Jenners have
I heard it here
perfect.
first.
But I'm sure others, our listeners know. They go blonde when they get work done. Anyway, and again, this is
Huh.
not to shade getting work done. It is to shade them specifically for being a
Yes, we
pox
love some
on.
work.
Yeah, yeah,
Get
we
the
don't
work
love
done.
them.
Yeah.
Anyway, I keep referring to the trash wig. Kim has got her hair slicked back, and then she's wearing a blonde, overgrown pixie
Yep.
wig that looks synthetic, right on top of
It's
it.
plastic. Yep.
And we're trying to be edge. We're telegraphing edge, and
Some
and
serious hate happening here.
and it's
And
given nothing. It's given worse than nothing. I hate this, whoever her hair team is, and she's got great people. I feel like they phoned it in on this campaign.
it's real bad. Yep. But we're gonna have to give this like a 0 because
Yeah,
this is
zero.
even
Zero with both of
mocking.
them.
Like
I mean,
this is
and Chris
mocking our
wearing a trash
industry.
wig, and then she's just like, we put a
Little
scarf over it,
scarfy over it.
and we're
Anyway,
Italy, Italia, the
we're
Dolce Vita.
trashy Italian. Here we are.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can't. I can't.
I think for
Zero.
your being, we should move on.
Yeah. We're gonna get a lot of hate. I don't
That's a
care.
big
They
that's a
they're
big
they're big
0.
girls. They can handle
Hmm.
it. They went to the Bezos wedding. All right, next up we've got a different kind of villain.
Yeah.
Um, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives Hulu star Whitney
Oh.
Levitt on vacay.
Hmm.
What is the hairstyle that she has
Yeah.
really landed on a hair color of late. So like
Yeah.
kudos to her for
She's
that.
sticking to it. Hmm.
Oh, we're being told that she's going to be on Dancing with the Stars.
Which, you know what? I saw that this morning and I said to myself, why is this show still on TV? It's like The Price is Right is on. We've
And
got
it's
Dancing with the Stars. Like, can
CW's,
we? These
yes.
are not stars, and nobody cares if they can dance.
Stars, air quotes, stars.
I
She's
hate
really
this.
stretching the definition. But again,
Oh,
reality villain. So we are doing, I mean, talking about Kardashians, this is another like Kim K look, I think,
yeah.
from several years ago. We got a pony with a PC bang,
PC little side
slicked.
bang, slick
Yeah,
back pony.
yeah.
I think it's very unoriginal. I give it a 1.
Oh,
Jeff,
wow,
you
we're gonna
set me
move.
off with the
Yeah, sorry,
last
sorry.
one.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's not much better. Yeah, I mean like 5. I don't know. I like the hair
Eh,
color.
whatever.
It's better than some of the looks that she has
Oh, it
done.
is. I
I'm
don't know
so I was
her.
told that in this link she's dancing with that hair.
I guess you could whip that pony around.
Yeah, and there's power in that, I guess.
There's
Yeah.
power in that. And maybe that's how she got her gig with Dancing with the Stars. That's her.
Wow, wow, wow. I mean, dancing with her husband.
I don't know. It's
Yeah, she's
just,
flinging it around. I don't like it. I'm gonna say 5 still. Okay.
okay. And
Yeah.
remember, you can see all of this in our show notes and
Yeah,
our
and let us know if
Instagram.
we're totally
So
off
yeah,
base or
I
if we're
mean,
exactly on the money.
we're going rogue here.
Yeah. All right. Last but least, Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah. I feel like you're gonna go down this rabbit hole. Not a good one, but I think she looks stunning. It's a half up, half down. Middle
Yeah.
part, which I heard the middle part's out, and the old lady, whatever side part that I do all
hmm
the time is back. I don't think it ever left, but anyway.
hmm
And then she's just got the messy curl, which there's a lot of chat about the messy curl
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Kind of
So
scrunched up.
that perspective, like we're
Mhm.
very on trend. I like this color on her because I don't like when she's super, super blonde or super
Yeah.
brunette because I think it both wash her out. But I like this like honey blonde on
Yeah.
her with a little bit of a root. Like, so I actually I don't hate this, Kelly.
Yeah. Okay.
Look, we
And
got
I
like
think
a
that
solid 7.
a solid 7. Yeah, I'm gonna go like a solid 8 because I think it's just on trend, like
Yeah.
nice summer look. And I think she was at the wedding too, so I'm sure it was
I
hot and humid
know, I
there,
know, I
and
know, I
so she just
know.
had to scrunch up that hair.
I like this better than whatever the hell she did at that wedding. Again, RIP to the environment for that. I mean,
But you can get it prime overnight, Jeff.
yes, 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 and we're better for it, aren't we? As always, we've got this week's top stories that you need to know
Mhm.
about. There's a biggie in the
Yeah.
news. L'Oreal's done its thing and has now acquired hair brand Color Wow. So did you see this coming?
No, I really didn't. Did you? I mean, I don't follow Color Wow that carefully, I feel like. I mean, I've used the products. I actually have some of the products.
Yeah.
I think it's the Root Boost or the Dream Coat, which is one of their key products. But
They're heroes.
no, I wonder they must have had a very fast sales trajectory or L'Oreal had an opening in their portfolio line, right? I mean, I could imagine it's the owner's dream from an
Oh,
acquisition perspective. So,
absolutely. I mean, so similarly, like I followed Color Wow. I think like we've
yeah.
all sort of seen it, and I mean, we were just talking about Kardashians and their team. Obviously, Chris Appleton affiliated with them and
Yep.
with Color Wow. So over the years, like have had a strong understanding, but really beyond that, they've just been clicking along. I hadn't really
Yeah.
tracked much. So this is a big deal. I mean, L'Oreal is obviously a cosmetic giant.
Mhm.
So this makes sense to diversify their portfolio further. Like I'm sure it's rounding out, as you said, something that they were missing. They are seeing some benefit here. So I mean, it's just I'm interested to see where this goes because
Right.
often
Same.
with an acquisition, excuse me, of this scale, there can be changes to
Right.
formulations, which then,
We don't
shakes
like
out. Yeah,
that.
wait, no, and,
We
and
don't
certainly
like
the
that.
consumer doesn't. So I'm curious, like,
Mm.
how does this all come together? How much control does Color Wow retain? Well, TBD. But big news. This, I think, is everybody talking.
Yeah, agree. Just don't change the formula. That's why we love it. And we know that happens. Like, come
Please
on.
don't.
Anyway, let's move on to your girl, Selena Gomez. Let's talk nail trends, okay? Because you know we love them nail trend. Blood
hmm
orange nails are the summer's hottest manicure. And I would like to say that I'm pretty darn close to that right now. I mean, I'm red, but it's an orangey red,
It is an orange red, yeah,
which
red
I
orange.
love. And I do love her blood orange nails as well. But you know what it reminds me of? My summer drink.
You and all of us. Yeah, I mean it's an Aperol spritz. I'm
It's
obsessed.
totally, I
I'm
can't.
obsessed with Aperol spritzes. I'm obsessed with this nail color. We talked about on our Instagram that
Hmm.
Aperol is trending. You're seeing it literally everywhere. And in that post, we get into Charlie XCX, who obviously has a deal with Aperol, which we love to see. It makes a lot of
Hmm.
sense. But that color is popping up in all sorts of places.
Yeah.
So in obviously Selena's nails, there were nail artists that are riffing on Aperol spritzes to do similarly custom sets, which is pretty cool. And then this color in hair is popping up. So instead
Yeah.
of pink,
Wow.
we're getting this like deep orange
Like
that's
a
like
geranium color, a coral reef, if
mm,
you will, an orange poppy.
ooh, yes, yes. Like much deeper than this, cowboy copper thing that's been
Yeah, that's done.
going
We out
for, yeah, no,
a
we're
minute.
punching up the color, which I'm excited about. So I like this Aperol orange moment. I'm hoping that we see some more of it.
Wait, a hot tip on the Aperol.
Oh,
I gotta tell you, the way I use mine, I do not use Prosecco. I substitute Prosecco with rosé, like a light rosé. I mean, it's to die.
a
Try it.
sparkling rosé?
No, no
No sparkle.
sparkling. Mm-mm.
No. So you don't like that fizz that
Nope.
comes
I
with?
don't like the fizz.
Oh, you just like the sort of taste of
Yeah.
the.
Try
Okay.
it.
I
Or a
I will
sparkling
definitely
rosé. Yeah.
I
Give
will
it a
definitely
whirl.
try. No, we are being told it's not a spritz. It is an Aperol something
Oh,
with the
well. Oh, an Aperol flat?
maybe. I'm sure there's like a fun name for it.
Aperol sans the spritz. Oh, okay. The
The
sparkle is
sparkle
the
is the spritz.
spritz is
Yes,
we're
yes.
being
We
produced right now. Okay.
we
Our
I have
producer
an
is chiming
understanding of
in.
that. So yeah, it's a hot take that you are swapping out the prosecco, but I mean I'll give it a shot, especially after you've had one.
Try.
Just
And
swap
then
out.
the second one's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. All
I
right,
love it.
we move on. Try it tonight, please. Okay. This week, we're talking with Michael Dueñas, a renowned hairstylist, curly hair specialist, and creative entrepreneur. He's worked with top celebrities like Illana Glazer, Rachel Brosnahan, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Giancarlo Esposito. He's recently founded his own new brand called AROVE, a waterless powered hair care line. Now it's time for our segment, quote, if they were a hairstyle. Every week we ask the host who interviewed the guest, and Jeff, that's you this week, what hairstyle the guest would be based on their personality in the episode. Jeff, what hairstyle would Michael be? Let's hear it.
So I think he's like a classic slick back Like in my head, he's like one of these, he's got like a comb in his pocket and he's like, do you know what I mean? Nobody's I'm like pantomiming something. If you're
It's
seeing if this got
amazing.
clipped.
It
But you know what I
Jeff just
mean?
took a comb out, a pretend
Yeah,
comb, and
he's
just
got it. Yeah, and
slicked
he's
it.
just like
I
slicking it back.
love it.
Just slicking it
That's
back.
that actually
That's
might be like my favorite one yet, to be honest. It's very
I just like
specific
that's
and
what
I
I
love it.
but that's what I'm getting at. Like he's that. Like he's got a sort of retro vibe. He's like surfer. Like and anyway, that's what comes to mind when I think about
I
him.
love it. Amazing. All right. Make sure that you subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and sending questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
But before we get there, let's talk Tease beauty news. First up, we got an article. It is celebrity colorist Matt Rez shares his go-to product for the longest lasting gloss results. Colorist to the stars, Matt Rez loves a gloss. For his regulars, including Florence Pugh, Dua Lipa, Penelope Cruz, Addison Rae, and more, a gloss can be just the thing to add shine and dimension, not to mention protect their custom color from fading in the sun. If you specialize in color but aren't offering glossing services, you may be missing out. The Tease connected with Rez about all things gloss, and he spilled, including the Ypres product that he swears by to maximize the results. Head to thetease.com for that reveal. Kelly,
Yes.
how often are you glossing?
Oh, I don't think I am.
Ever?
I think that
Are you
I
just
mean,
going
I
in and
color
getting
my
color at, well,
hair.
no, no, obviously,
I
obviously.
just really do roots and then I'll do like, you know what? That's not true. I think she pulls a gloss through.
I think
Yeah.
so.
I mean, I love a gloss. I even love just like a clear gloss just to kind
Hmm.
of get, Sebastian used to make the best clear gloss called cellophanes. And I don't know if they even produce it anymore, but I was a big fan of that. And I'm also a fan of Ypres. I also use that.
Do you really?
I do. After we had Eric Presley on, the founder, I went out and bought me some, and it comes in like refillable, like it's great packaging, beautifully designed, and wish him all the best.
Huh? Well, I mean,
Yeah,
here it is. This brand taken off. So love to see it. Because you're right. We had him on the pod way back when.
way back when. All right, next up, from sparse to stunning, why more women are choosing semi-permanent eyebrows. Let's get into that. Something that's been quietly but surely sweeping through salons, spas, and beauty chats all over the place are stunning semi-permanent brows. Yes, you heard that right. Those dreamy, always perfect. Please look at mine. Brows that seem like they were born to slay from the moment you woke up. I do just wake up like this. No pencils, no powders, no frantic mirror checks halfway through the day. So what's the catch? So many ladies are choosing to ditch the brow products and go semi-permanent route. What is that, Jeff? That could be things like microblading, powdering. There's a variety of different options. And I've got
Hmm.
to tell you, I've been doing this for a long time. But for
You're ahead
all
of
of
the
you
curve.
listening, pull up a chair, grab your coffee, and let's go learn more about it at thetease.com. But yeah, I feel like most of my friends have been doing this for a long time.
I mean, I think that you're tapped in.
That's fair. Tap, tap.
You're like a little bit farther along
The
than
journey.
everyone. And I think
Okay,
our
that's
listeners
fair.
understand this, but like it's definitely taken ground. Like it is really a thing now that we're seeing in the mainstream, which wasn't the case a couple of years ago. So I'm curious where we go from here. But
But I do believe that brows really frame someone's face. And I've got to tell you that, like, it's one of the things that I probably notice most on people is like that you could have a beautiful shape. It could open up your eyes. Like, there's a lot that your brows can do, but find a great licensed pro to do it for you.
literally exactly what Kelly just said. Thank you so much to our contributors and our editors for this week's beauty news. And don't forget to check out more stories like these on thetease.com.
Now, stay tuned for Jeff's interview with Michael Dueñas.
Michael Dueñas is a renowned hairstylist, curly hair specialist, and creative entrepreneur. He's worked with top celebrities like Illana Glazer, Rachel Brosnahan, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Giancarlo Esposito. Known for his editorial and fashion work, Michael has collaborated with icons like Orlando Pita on runway shows for Michael Kors, Oscar de la Renta, and Victoria's Secret. He's also led teams and created iconic looks for Betsy Johnson and Alice and Olivia. His talent has graced magazines and covers such as Vogue, Elle, and Allure, and he styled campaigns for brands like Guess, L'Oreal, and Haägen-Dazs. He recently launched AROVE, the world's first encapsulated water-free haircare line, completely reimagining what clean hair care can be. This groundbreaking collection features self-emulsifying shampoo and conditioner and an ultra-hydrating hair oil, delivering concentrated, powerful ingredients directly to your hair, leaving you with all of the good and none of the bad, all housed in sustainable, travel-friendly packaging. Michael, welcome back to Volume Up. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Very good. And always a pleasure to have a repeat guest. You've been doing some things since the last we talked a few years ago, and we want to fill people in. But first, for those that are too lazy to go to the other episode, which we will link to in the show notes, guys, come on. You know that we're gonna do right by you. Give us a rundown. How the hell did you get to the professional beauty industry?
Uh, Not the way of a normal path, I believe. I surfed with two gentlemen who owned a salon, and I thought it was the best lifestyle you could have. You surf in the morning, and then you go in, and mind you, I'm going to preface this, I was 13, so
Okay.
let's bring him back, 13-year-old boy. I thought it was so cool you could surf and then go into a salon and hang out with girls all day. I was like, yeah, obviously I want to do that. It just made complete sense. So I started helping them in their salon, hanging out as much as I could. And then from there, as soon as I was old enough, I started an apprenticeship to get my cosmetology license. So I started assisting right away instead of beauty school. And I slowly realized that you absolutely cannot flirt with anyone who's in your chair because that's how you make money. And then I realized there's nothing even remotely that I was just like, oh, I like that person anymore because you become their therapist. And you're just like, oh, that kind of took that away a little bit and it became a passion to make people look beautiful and feel good and be confident. And it really grew into something else from there. That's the quick synopsis of how I started with
I
it.
mean, that was a beautifully done synthesis of a huge career. And part of that career has involved, some celebrity clientele, some big campaigns over the years. I'm curious, how did you find yourself working with celebs? Again, we did get into some of this in that
Yep.
previous episode, so I invite people to go back to that one. But for those that, again, are maybe not going to stick around for that, how did you get into it?
I feel like I was kind of thrown into it. I was an ambassador for a global brand at that point and working at a salon in New York. And I lived with a gentleman named James Vincent, who's a very well-known makeup artist. And I kept going to work and telling him how I felt there was more than just salon life. How are these people doing magazines? And this is all he had ever done. And so he brought me on to what I learned at the time is called a test shoot, where you just do a photo shoot with a model just for an image. And I was like, whoa, this is really cool. This is a whole other aspect I was completely unaware of. So he started bringing me to a lot of these different shoots and really pushing me into it until I realized I can go get these shoots on my own, go get models, start reaching out to photographers. And there was a website at the time, I think it's still around, called Model Mayhem. I don't know what it is now, so please
Sure, sure,
don't
sure,
even,
sure.
I'm
Yeah.
afraid to even look. I went on Model Mayhem and I scouted every photographer in the New York area and started building up a portfolio. And it got to the point where, hey, I'm actually shooting a lot. I'm not in the salon as much. And the very first way I was able to get a celebrity was actually going to an agency with my book that was just full of models, nothing else, just tons of editorials. I recently took out all my photos and it was roughly around 200 photos. My portfolio was far too large from any portfolio that you should bring to anyone. You're supposed to cull it. Did not know that. Agent sat me down and very blessed, but signed me. I have no idea why with that portfolio, but signed me. And I got thrown into the celebrity world immediately because he was a very well-known celebrity agent. And it was just a quick catapult into that world.
And speaking of that world, working with the celebs, repeat clients over the years, which is a testament
Mhm.
to, that relationship that you
Yep.
cultivate over time. The campaigns that I alluded to, when you're looking back at your career, and obviously it's not over, you've got so much more of it to
I hope
go, and,
not.
and we're going to get into another area of this career. But looking at those campaigns, some of the bigger spreads, maybe editorial that you've done, like what is a highlight for you? What sticks out as something where you're like, God, that was good?
Uh, Honestly, I is not as fashion forward as you would think, but it was Hagen-Dazs because I creative directed it. I did all the photography for it. I designed all the hair that we had a stylist do, so let her know exactly what to do, and I was the creative force behind it. And that was really cool because it's a huge brand, and to create something like that and be behind the camera and capture it was really cool. Something I never thought I would do in my career. It was a very unique moment for me.
I kind of taken aback by it because this is not a traditional sort of pathway for a hairstylist. And you talked about, coming to it from a different way, and you continue to do it in different ways, which includes this next bit, which is somewhere along the way, you decided that you wanted to create your own brand. So talk to me about that brand. Before we get into AROVE,
Mhm.
what was the process like? Where you're like, I got an idea for some. Talk to me a little bit about that.
So, I mean, the idea came years and years ago. I had the idea for this probably around 2013. I
Okay.
was traveling all over with my clients, and I was getting so upset at what was happening with my hair care, basically. I have always been big on not wanting to waste plastic, and I truly feel that travel sizes are a huge waste. And so I would try to either take my full size, because I would be gone for months on
Hmm.
press junkets, just traveling around or wherever they were. And then if I brought travel size, it was never enough. They were spilling, they were making messes, couldn't take it on planes. And in 2013, I was like, that'd be really cool if we had something that was powder that worked. But didn't know how to create it, didn't know how to go from there, shelved the idea, but always thought of it constantly. And then I started working with more hair care companies and using more and more products. And then the culmination of ideas came back, and I was like, there has to be something better. Why are there so many bad ingredients in it? So
Hmm.
many filler ingredients. Why is it so heavy? I've never been one to drink bottled water, so I couldn't understand why we're shipping bottled water everywhere. And it just really kind of was rubbing me wrong. I was a surfer, unnecessary plastic waste going everywhere. And I was like, there has to be a way to reduce this. There has to be a way for shipments to be cheaper of products, reduce gas, reduce materials. And it just kind of was a building of that. And that's where I just really was like, I have to revisit this and I have to make it happen.
So, I mean, again, it is one thing to have this thought, and this drive. It is very different to make it into a product that is now available for sale. So, walk me through this process. Again, ideation, concepting, I got it.
Yep.
How the hell did you go about sourcing the formulation, the materials needed? Like, talk to me about that. Like, what was that like?
So I am so fortunate. I have a very good friend who is a brilliant chemist.
Okay.
Unbelievably brilliant. Like words can't describe how his mind works.
How
Um,
fortuitous.
I came to him to with the idea multiple times, and he's like, "You're insane. No,
No.
no." And then one day he's like, "Hey, you still want to do that hair care line?" And I was just like, "Yeah, I still want to do that hair care line," because I talked to a few outside labs, and the cost was astronomical, and they were
Sure.
full of fillers. Nothing that I wanted to do. It was cornstarch and things of that nature, and that's not what I wanted. So his name is Strawn Phillips. He is also the co-founder of AROVE. And he created something very basic in the beginning, and it was full of fillers just to see how we could do it. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's something here. And so I spent honestly maybe 6 or 7 months researching every single ingredient you could fathom, going
Mhm.
through every single clean list from every single store, researching everything I possibly could, how different products felt, and really benchmarked it how I wanted to be against a multitude of different products. Gave them a list of ingredients that I wanted, gave them a list of ingredients that couldn't be in there. And we kind of went from there. When I say we created a few formulations, that's an understatement. There honestly might be well into the a couple thousand different formulations, and I'm not exaggerating
Damn.
because
Damn.
it was just I don't like how this felt. Let's change it. And you change half a percentage, even less of an ingredient, and it completely threw off everything in what we were trying to do. So it was just, hey, this is the new hot ingredient. What's the next one? Can we get it in there? But it has to do something. So it was just so much research and not trying to make something trendy. It was so hard. And the fact that Strawn never told me, hey, I quit. This is
Mm.
ridiculous was fantastic. It was a
That
lot of work.
No, it
A
sounds
lot.
like it. And as you said, I mean, like a number of years. This was not like a flash in the pan idea.
Correct.
Not jumping on a trend. You were there when this was not necessarily a possibility. So
Yep.
really, the unique value proposition is that this is a totally waterless formula, as you alluded to within the current assortment, which includes what? Talk to us a little bit about in this iteration of a robe. What do we got?
Right. So I want to back up just a moment because you
Yeah,
said waterless formula. We actually use zero water in any part of our production.
damn.
Like no part of production has any water whatsoever. And I'm really proud of that because the amount of water we save is astronomical. So I'm very, very proud of that. All right. So
As you
the
should be. No, no,
assortment
no.
that
That's a good clarification.
Thank you. The assortment that we have now, right now, at this current moment, is our Arius shampoo, Arius conditioner, and a luminous ultra hydrating hair oil. To me, they were staples of what had to be released first before we go into our next phase of products.
So when we were talking about formulation, and again, you said that there were like thousands of versions of where you landed. What do we have in these products that people need to be aware of, particularly the pros that are listening?
Yep. So we have actually created our own naturally derived silicone. I'm very proud of it. It works just as efficient as dimethicone, which is on the borderline of a dirty/clean ingredient. I feel it should be classified as dirty because it actually doesn't break down in the environment and it coats your hair. To me, that's not something that's good. So our naturally derived silicone alternative degrades in the environment and doesn't coat your hair, but you also get the exact same sheen that you would in anything else, improves combability, reduces frizz. So you get all the benefits of a heavy silicone product without a chemical in your hair, without having a traditional silicone. It's unbelievable for the professional hairdresser, for the retail connoisseur who's going to come in, or sorry, consumer who's going to come and buy it. There is no like, oh, is it going to build up? Is it going to weigh my curls down? Is it going to do this? No, it was huge to me to not have something build up. That's one of the things I'm really excited about in this. But if you want to get into the nitty gritty, which makes this very different, that the professional will be excited about, because consumers just want, oh, my hair feels amazing. It's very
And
shiny.
they might feel good about the
lightweight.
fact that there's, as you said, like less water, that they're not
Yes.
playing those
Yep.
things. But I mean, for the pro, what is the thing that's going to get them lit up about this?
The pro, we have developed our own technology called LumaLock technology, and I am
Okay.
so excited about it. It is our proprietary encapsulation technology. We have developed a way to encapsulate all of our oils, which means I'm going to explain it in the easiest terms I can, because it's actually very scientific, and most people are going to be like, it's polymetric shells, what? We have put each ingredient, each molecule is encapsulated in its own shell. So each one is wrapped in a full airtight own shell. This makes the ingredients and the formulation never degrade, never expires. It can be 10 years from now and there's no degradation in the formula. So you can just leave it out for forever. Totally cool. Nothing changes. It is still just as effective, has the same efficacy as it did the day it was made. But what was really cool about LumiLock is these shells stay closed until it hits your hair or your scalp. So it actually penetrates into your scalp to the root of the hair, to the follicle, it's an antimicrobial, helps boost blood flow to your follicle. So you actually can get better hair growth. And it also penetrates into the hair. So when you think of hair, we can describe it as a fabric, or it is the shaft with a whole bunch of little pieces coming off scales. And those scales are lifted up and a lot of good falls out. So a lot of brands try to cover the scale, coat it, so that way everything stays in. Ours is opposite. Everything goes inside, nothing stays on top. And since everything is bonding into the center of the hair, nothing is falling out. It fills in the porosity. You don't get the coating on the outside. Everything is made to penetrate. So the moment that our product hits your hair, our shells open up and you get all of the good. Everything penetrates in, nothing coats. And you'll get more results with our product over like long-term usage as opposed to traditional. So with traditional products, you get an immediate effect because it's coating the hair. But then your hair slowly gets more damaged because it's not getting those building blocks in. You'll have immediate effects with ours, but then you get long-term benefits because there is no coat.
Michael. Okay. I think that we're gonna have some people that are excited about this. And as you talked about, I mean, this is maybe we didn't say it explicitly, vegan, clean ingredients. So when you're talking about that barrier, and penetration into the hair shaft and the scalp, these are things that you're not going to be upset about getting into this space, because it is not the dirtier, sort of nastier things that people are accustomed to using, whether it is a pro or a consumer. Talk to me a little bit about that. Like when you going back to working with your colleague, the co-founder, on these formulations, how did you ensure that you were going to use the cleanest, and most cruelty-free, etc. ingredients?
So every ingredient we wanted to put in, we would check the background and the studies on it to make sure that it's actually a clean ingredient and does what it says it does. We looked into everything into skincare, body care, everything that could be translated into hair, and then would go on every single clean list that we could find. And if it was on any list that said it could possibly be dirty, it wasn't in our product. And then we would put the material in, we would try the product. If there was no impact, it would be removed. If we didn't notice a difference, so we didn't just blow our product with things it didn't need. It was such a hunt. Insane.
Talk to me about the testing of this. How the hell was that happening? I mean, were you the
Daunting.
test dummy? Yeah, okay, yeah. Talk to me about it.
I had long hair until we launched the product because I was been testing it. So my hair was down to here. And
Okay.
I would wash my hair sometimes 4 times a day. It'd be split down the middle with 2 different formulas. Sometimes it would be split down the middle and be 4 different formulas. My wife and daughter were testers, friends were testers, because I didn't want to let the cat out of the bag. So as anyone who I felt comfortable with to be like, hey, can you use this? I'm working on something. And it got to the point where I had people like, I'm not washing my hair anymore. Because there was literally thousands of formulas that we were giving. And they were loving it, but they're just like, this is a little absurd. This is so many formulas. And I'm like, no, you have to test it. And we'd give them forms and they would fill out the forms. And then we'd go through the forms and be like, okay, now try this product, try this brand. How does that compare? And it became this massive benchmark against every brand that rated amazing to see if we could perform better. And it really helped us, because if there was any negative note on ours compared to another brand, we're like, okay, how do I adjust that? How do we change that? And we didn't just want to be like, oh, we're waterless, we're clean, that's what sets us apart. It wasn't that. Is we actually wanted to be better than everything else that's out there. It's not a cash grab, not a gimmick with being water free. We wanted something that performed otherworldly. I'm a professional hairdresser. I can't just put something out to make money. There's no way. It had to be amazing. Had to be.
So if you could tell me, I mean, you referred to this in the testing, talking to a lot of different people, lots of different hair types. Texture wise, this is formulation that works for everybody, I'm assuming. Talk to me
Yes.
about that.
So I have a slight wave in my hair. I don't have much. It takes a lot of coaxing to get it there. So most people assume that, oh, the product's not going to be for curly hair. The founder doesn't have curly hair. It's not going to be for all hair types. I work at a curly hair salon and educated for them all over. I learned an astronomical amount. I feel I am a curly hair expert. The product had to work for all textures. Every single texture. It doesn't matter if you had very fine, thin, straight hair, coarse, straight hair, wavy hair, Botticelli curl, kinky corkscrews, frizz, very thick density, doesn't matter. It works for all of them. And that, I have to say, that was probably the hardest benchmark to hit, because certain textures need to have a lot more product, a lot more oil, a lot more coating to be able to get that feeling that you want in your hair. You want to feel soft, you don't want frizz. And the coolest part is about being a powder is you can make it as concentrated as you want. You adjust the amount of water that's in your hand or in your hair, and suddenly you have what could almost be considered a mask for your hair. And you can also leave it in, because pH balance as a leave-in. So you can leave it in your hair to style your curls. Actually, I have a video on my Instagram of me putting it in my hair wet, and it gives me the coolest texture. It's fantastic.
I think that this is where being a pro, having worked with all of these products over the years, the experience really does help. Whereas, as you mentioned, some people that are doing it for the cash grab or the gimmick don't have that that they can lean on. I'm really glad though you were talking about the differences in texture, but these were considerations, because
Oh yeah.
often that's not the case, and people are sort of thought of maybe peripherally, and that's not the case with this brand, which is exciting to us here at Volume Up. I also want to talk about, you mentioned porosity. How do the AROVE products work with people that are doing color treatments? This summer, people are lightening up. They're doing all
Yep.
sorts of color. Yeah, tell me about it.
They work exceptionally well. It was part of the factor of when we're creating it, what surfactants we're going to use. There's certain surfactants that do strip color out completely. They cleanse really well. We have very gentle surfactants, but we have a culmination of them. So there's quite a few different surfactants in there at low doses. So you get maximum lather and cleanse, but it's unbelievably gentle. A lot of consumers who have used our product have given the feedback that they almost don't even feel that they need a conditioner after they use our shampoo, which is a
Oh,
testament because
yeah.
we actually have a lot of oil in our shampoo, but you would
Okay.
never know. So that is helping to condition the hair, keep the cuticle closed, and so that way you're not getting color loss. It was far too important. I used to work for a color company. Like I'm not going to make something that's going to strip color out because I'm going to alienate people. There's no
Don't
point.
want. Yep. And I mean, as a pro, I mean, you don't want that. It's going to
Yeah,
affect your bottom line. Um,
exactly.
let's just be honest. Talk to me about the application. So this, I think, is like the big stumbling block for people. They understand, powder
Yes.
application. This is better because it's not using all of the things you've said. But like real talk,
Yep.
pros and consumers, how are they getting this from, bottle or package, I should say, not a bottle, to hair.
So I'm going to show you the conditioner.
Okay.
So I'm going to be pouring the conditioner in my hand and show the application, and that way you can all know as well. So it's very simple to use. Consumers sometimes are, when they first get it, like, how am I supposed to use a powder?
Hmm.
What
Yep.
is going on? Do I just put it directly
Right.
in
Like,
my
what do you
hair?
mean?
Do I put it in my hand? Honestly, it's not any different than using a traditional liquid-based product. When you use a liquid-based, you're in the shower. Your hair is wet. Your hands are wet. You put the product in and you emulsify and then you wash. There is zero difference. With our product, our bottle is watertight and it's very simple. I wanted it to be able to be operated with people who have handicaps. And it's also,
Right.
if you're unaware, it's for the sight impaired as well. So we have two different colored bottles. So you know exactly what is the shampoo and what is the
Perfect.
conditioner. So you can
Smart.
grab whatever you need. Easy open with one finger or thumb, whatever you want to use on the top, opens the orifice. And you just put a small amount of, oh, I do have a foil thing on here, so let's
Okay.
try
All right.
this. You do put a small amount of product.
Okay.
So for those that are listening, we have about a quarter size product on my hand, and it's a very soft, fine powder. Now, once you have the powder in your hand, you just emulsify. It turns to a beautiful thick cream with a ton of slip,
Mhm.
and the shampoo and the conditioner both go to a cream with slip. The shampoo, as soon as you start washing, is no joke, the thickest, softest lather you will ever feel.
Okay.
It's almost like, wait, am I using the conditioner right now? Because your hair is so soft, but it feels so thick. Like you feel an unbelievable amount of density. If your hair is very dirty, you can add more powder and go through. Even with a traditional shampoo, very dirty hair needs to be washed twice.
Mhm.
Same thing. The more you wash it, obviously, the more lather you're gonna get, just like a traditional. But our lather is so much thicker, and you barely need any. For my hair, which is probably an inch and a half on the sides and 8 inches on top or so, I use maybe a dime size of shampoo at the
Okay.
most. So I'm getting roughly 80 to 85 washes and conditions in this small 5 inch
Dang.
bottle. For the conditioner, I use around a nickel to a quarter size, same emulsification process, bring it through. If my hair is unbelievably dry, I've been in the sauna, I've been swimming, I've been in the sun, and I feel that it's destroyed, then I'm going to add a little more conditioner to it. It's going to be concentrated, it's going to penetrate the same, but it's going to be more ingredients going on it. If you have wavy or curly hair and you want to emphasize those curls, you don't want to use a gel, anything of that nature. I
Mhm.
prefer using conditioner on my curly girls anyways. You can actually take the conditioner when you're out of the shower and just sprinkle it right onto directly onto your hair. So you can
Mm.
flip your head, do it on the back, flip it back up, sprinkle all over the top, or you can put it through your fingers and rake through and make it really slippery, really wet. You can also leave it in the shower with a very slight rinse, so it's not as much as you would use to condition. So just
Mhm.
drizzle with water on your hair, leave it in, and style your curls that way, and it gives a
Mhm.
great texture. So it's a multifaceted product without buildup in it.
I'm just struck because you're saying the things that I think people are wanting to hear. That the the application, like the texture is more of a cream base. That it is thick,
Yes.
that you know what you're putting into your hair. Because
Yep.
sometimes when it's lathery, people are thinking it's going in, it's going right out. And
Exactly.
particularly when you're talking about slip, I know how important this is to people that have a little bit more
Yes.
texture in their hair. They need
Yep.
that. And if it's not there, they're not necessarily going to reach for the product. So
Yep.
glad that you're clarifying these things. And I think it only makes it more exciting for people like myself that are interested in making this switch, but have hangups for whatever reason.
And one of the things on that, when you're using it, the very first reactions when you put the shampoo in your hand, your mind's like, oh, it's going to be grainy when I wipe my
Mhm.
hands. It's a powder. Their reaction and everyone's face is, I almost want to say comical because they're so thrown off. It's, whoa. It's just like, wait, what? And it disappears to nothing. If you go on AROVE's Instagram, which is AROVE Beauty, there's a video of a professional hairdresser doing her first reactions, and she puts it in her hand, and she's just like, what? And she's just staring at the camera, just completely confused because it straight up just feels like you put a glob of silicone in.
Okay.
It's that smooth. It's fantastic. So before you use it, you have a preconceived notion powder is going to feel gritty. It's how our
Yep.
minds
Yep.
work. It feels like silk. It immediately feels like you put a liquid in your hand.
Damn. Okay, well, talk to me then about the oil. So obviously the shampoo and conditioner, these are important things. You've
Yes.
alluded to the fact that we can use the conditioner for
Yep.
leave-in, which is important. This is something that I'm particularly interested in. But the oil, how the hell did this come to be? What is it for? Talk to us about it.
Cool. So the oil is incredible. I don't know how else to say it. So the oil is a combination, sorry, of oils that are in our shampoo and conditioner, but
Mhm.
they're at a higher concentrated amount. So there is no silicones and no water in it. If you look at the back ingredients of 99.5% of oils on the market,
No.
water is the first ingredient, silicone is the second ingredient. I will never understand why we're putting water in oil. I know it. I know why we do it to add dilution and less care ingredients, cheaper cost of goods,
Mhm. Mhm.
sell it at a bigger profit margin.
Yep.
Consumer uses more, goes through it faster. I understand the capitalistic nature of it. Do
Mhm.
I want that? No. I want something that's not diluted because you can't use a water-based oil on someone with very kinky curly hair and expect that hair to stay kinky and curly. No, it's gonna get frizzy. They're going to go into humidity and it's going to frizz up.
Yep.
It's going to absorb that and destroy the style that you just put in. I will never understand. I know there's a time and place for artificial silicones. Some people love them. I have never been a fan. If you can use a naturally derived silicone to achieve the exact same thing, why not? Because
Why
curly
not?
hair, you don't want to build up silicone on it. Same on fine, thin, straight hair. A lot of girls with fine, thin, straight hair are terrified of using an oil. And that's because of the dimethicone is the typical silicone. There's other ones that are worse, but dimethicone's that safe one. And it does get kind of heavy once it starts building up. So fine girls like, oh, my hair is greasy, it's piecey.
Yep.
Our oil is a concentrate, so you don't need a lot, but it spreads very, very well over the hair, but it doesn't leave any weight. Since it absorbs into the hair, it's not weighed down. Can be used on every texture from super fine hair to really kinky curly hair. It is an unbelievable scent. Like I'm just excited smelling about talking about it. Anyone who's used it has asked us for a body spray of the scent, has asked us for
Oh,
a
good sign.
like a
Room
hairspray
spray.
scent, basically,
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when I'm like, heck yeah. It is, I'm very, very excited for this one to come out. I'm biting my teeth for people to use it. It can be used as a leave-in because we actually have conditioning ingredients into it. So a lot of oils are just straight oil. That's it. We have conditioning ingredients from our conditioner in it. So it's not just a simplistic oil. It
Right.
is a conditioning oil. So it's a mix between a leave-in and a hair oil. The way that it works prevents an unbelievable amount of frizz. We call it a luminous because the amount of shine that it gives off. It is unbelievable. I've actually had parents at my daughter's school ask what we're doing to her hair because they're standing next to
That's.
another kid and they're like,
Yep.
why is her hair so shiny? And I'm just like, well, and it's like my perfect
Let me
segue.
tell you. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, everything's in my pockets. And I was
Yeah.
like, here
Yeah.
you go,
You
try
want a
it.
sample?
Yeah. The oil is going to change how people use and think about oils. Most people are like, okay, I need a good amount to feel like I'm getting the spread, I'm getting the use. Since ours is concentrated, You need maybe 5 to 7 drops, and that's it. It's
Okay.
fantastic. So I know the bottle looks small. It's 30 ml. This will last so long. And I mean, I just love the color of it too.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, the packaging is also, it seems very considered and thoughtful. The design, all of these elements.
This has been the hardest package I've ever created in my entire life. It turns
Uh,
out no manufacturers make skylight windows like this.
okay. Until
Just a
now.
little side note, it's taken 9 months. It took 9 months to find a manufacturer who would do it.
Damn.
So it was fun, but everything was very, very fun to design. I put so much thought into every single aspect. It's 100% recycled plastic bottles, 100% recycled plastic components in our glass bottle. It's
Damn.
everything I could do to preserve what we're doing for the environment with reducing carbon emissions and reducing plastic. I'm doing everything I possibly can.
Walking the walk. So talk to me if you could a little bit about that. I mean, we're seeing obviously an evolution in our industry of the bigger brands finally coming around to what smaller brands like yours have been doing from the jump, where they are sort of changing these practices. And that is both because of pressure from competition and
Mhm.
consumers, whether they're pros or just lay consumer, demanding it.
Yes.
Talk to me if you could about that evolution, because I mean, you were thinking about this a decade and more ago. Others not as much. So talk to me about that
Mhm.
evolution if you could. Like where have you seen things change?
I'm starting to see more brands become cleaner. It's something that they're touting more and more, like clean ingredients. And I'm just like, yeah, finally, this is
Yeah.
something that should have happened. But they wait, most brands just wait until consumers start to complain instead of being proactive. I get
Yep.
it. It cuts your bottom line of cost. You don't want to do it, but you should be ahead of the curve and taking care of your consumers. Waterless beauty, kind of called blue beauty, started to bloom around like 2019, 2020. It started to become, I don't even want to say mainstream, but it got coined its own term. You
Mhm.
know, it became something, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening.
It's
Other people are like, why are we shipping all this water?
Yep.
And it's been a slow shift, and I think it's because of how most hair brands are structured. They're owned by their parent company, someone who has been in the industry for 50, 60 years, knows it very, very well. Their products are selling. Why change it?
Why? Yeah. What's the incentive?
But then younger people come in and why are we doing this? They challenge the norm and it starts shifting. So I think brands are starting to see the upside of not having water in their products and using clean ingredients. And it's a slow shift. Us as consumers with social media, things spread like wildfire. We are so much more well informed. And as a brand, as someone who produces products, you need to keep up with that and give what performs but also works. So it's just a slow transition that's happening. And I am so happy it actually is.
Yeah. And again, AROVE is making that happen for people. So tell me if you could. I mean, you're freshly launched just a couple of months ago. Where
One
can
month.
people 1 month, just
Yep.
a month ago at
We're
this point?
babies.
Yeah, very much so. Where can people find? Where can we shop? Where can we do all plug the links if you could? We'll include things in
Yep.
the show notes as well to make it nice and easy for people to click through. But please, where the hell can we find it?
You can go to arovebeauty.com and find everything you need there. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook at Arove Beauty. All socials is the same at Arove Beauty, same as our website. And our website is a wealth of information on there. And if you're confused on how to use it, we have how-to videos, even though it's the same as traditional liquid products.
These videos help.
Yep.
Let's be real. I think what's so funny is that you're quite prescient about this. With your own bio, you're saying you created the hair care brand that everyone's about to copy. Well, what?
Optimistic here.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I think you're right. I'm looking forward to some competition down the road. But you guys have the market, so congratulations. This is a
Thank you.
huge deal. I'm excited. Particularly, I've got two daughters that require a lot of hair maintenance, and so some of the pressure points, the pain points that you're referring to, ring true for me.
Yeah,
So looking forward to testing this oil, because I've been there.
it's
Um,
so hard.
yeah. What
Well, I feel
what's
for you.
what are you trying to do to get the word out about brand? Obviously, you're chatting with us on the pod, but talk to us about where are you finding consumers? Where are you finding the pros? What has the outreach strategy been like?
So I know a lot of people from doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
I've reached out to every person I'm comfortable with, seeded them the products. I have a lot of clients who are using it and loving it and have posted about it. We're actually getting a lot of sales from word of mouth. People are like,
Damn.
"Have you tried this?" Like someone who bought it,
Hmm.
and then someone else is buying it. Coming up, we are going to be in large subscription format boxes. So if everything goes how it's supposed to,
Sure.
I
Yeah.
don't know, in this world, a
Uh-huh.
few 100,000 people will be using it in the next coming months, and then
Hell yeah.
it'll just spread from there. We're creating a lot of influencer relationships and UGC. It is a lot of work as an indie brand to get your product in people's hands. People will use it and love it, yet they'll never say a word about it on socials. And you're just like,
Hmm.
listen,
Yeah.
this
Do
is
it.
how I'm going to get it to sell. Please help me. And you become this like groveling, like, hi, how's it going? They're like, yeah, yesterday I used it. And you're like, well, and you
Yeah.
start realizing, oh, this is how it goes down. But it's all word of mouth, spreading it, forcing it down everybody's throats. And I have a fantastic PR team. My wife owns a PR company. I'm very grateful. She's very well tied into the industry, and she hates how much she's working for me now. But it's
But
amazing.
it's a labor of love, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah, no rest for the wicked though. Best of luck on this crazy journey. We're so happy to
Thank
be
you.
part of this. And again, we are gonna make it nice and easy for people to find a robe. Nice and easy. Click some links, guys. All right, before we let you go, we're gonna do our quick takes. These are the questions we ask of all of our guests, and then we'll
Yep.
let you get back to building this brand. First up, Michael, what is the craziest styling request that you've ever received from a celeb or a client?
Um, that's kind of just a crazy story in general, I guess. I
Okay.
was filling in for a stylist at Yoko Ono, and I ended up working with her a few times. So I went to the Dakota and would do her hair. This is a twofold story, I guess, because two unexpected things. She opens the door and she's in a full black head to toe silk pajama outfit. And also she only wanted her hair done around 11:30 p.m. So
Sure.
she opens
Yeah.
the door, introduced. This is the first time I'm meeting her. Introduced, and she's like, you could do my hair here. I'm like, all right, cool. And she has kind of like a bob down to here. She's like, I'm just gonna change into something else. And I was like, okay. She walks through this door in her kitchen. That's like a swinging door.
Uh-huh.
It swings as she walks through, and as it swings back, she's already coming back through, and then she's in full pink pajamas. And I'm just like, wait,
What?
trying to figure out what just happened. And am I crazy? What is going on? And she doesn't say a word. And she sits down, we start doing her hair, and she's like, I want to be punk today. And I was like, what do you mean you want to be punk? She's like, I want a mohawk. And I was like, you want a what? And she wanted a mohawk where the sides were shaved and bleached and the mohawk black.
Wow.
And I'm just sitting there. Okay, first I'm at the Dakota. I'm at Yoko Ono's house. She did some weird quick change thing, and now she
Yeah.
wants, what is happening? And I couldn't figure it out. I did
Uh,
it anyways. She loved
sure.
it. I was happy, couldn't believe it. I went back again and I found out that she always does a quick change thing as like an icebreaker thing just to mess with people. And I could not figure out why, but it's
The
just one of her
logistics.
little things. And it was just one of the wildest moments I've ever had as a hairdresser.
Whoa.
It was just
Whoa.
like, okay, this is weird, but this is awesome at the same time.
You literally could you've taken the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I also like just setting it up. I mean, Yoko Ono, I feel like anything goes.
Just
Wow.
going to the Dakota enough was like, I
Yeah.
can't believe I'm here.
Yeah,
It was
this is
wild.
yeah. Okay, well, this is going to be interesting to segue into the next question. What's your go-to song, playlist, or podcast to listen to while you're working, or are you silent? There are some people that like can have zero distraction; they don't want to thing, but there are
Yep.
people that are the other way. So, where do you land?
So it depends on what I'm working on. If it's a client that I'm working with,
Hmm.
then it's always what do you want to listen to? And it ends up
Oh, you're
becoming
differential.
super poppy music sometimes. And I'm just like, okay, I can deal with that. I grew up listening to hardcore and punk, so my
Mm,
my music has an eclectic background to it.
sure.
Um, when I am diligent working on my brand or retouching or crafting
Mhm.
creative ideas or doing someone on my own time, doing their hair, I found out that recently people whose playlist is their liked songs on Spotify's, apparently they have ADHD. And I was like, oh, do I have ADHD? Because it's all my liked songs. But it's a lot of it that is some easygoing, fun music, and then some really mellow. Like, for example, Miles Smith. I don't know if you're familiar with him. Super fun, happy, excited music. And then there's a lot of Hazlitt, which is really mellow, kind of folky-esque. And then Bay Ledges, which is modern version of the Shins, basically. So
Nice.
it's kind of all over the place, but I mix my happy with my super mellow stuff in there.
A good balance. It's always good when people are dropping new artists because
Yep.
whether for me or for others. So shout out to you for doing that one for us, making it nice
Sure.
and easy. What is a bucket list item that you most want to check off in the next 6 months? Obviously, you're launching a brand, so this might not be a possibility, but if you could get around to doing something that's on a list in the next 6 months, what would it be?
Anything in general?
Yeah.
A bucket list item. If it was anything, oh, this is hard. There's so many things I want to do. It's probably the silliest thing because it's a monetary object, but it's something I've wanted to do since I had it. I have a 1968 Bronco that I fully restored,
Sick.
except I never redid my gearing in my rear and front differentials. Everything else is completely redone. I
Okay.
want to change my gearing so I get better gas mileage in it and my transmission will last longer. As silly
Okay.
as it is, that
No.
is my bucket list item because I've had that truck for 10 years and have not done that yet.
Okay, well, Godspeed. Good luck. Maybe you can fit it in
I hope so.
somewhere. What is a current social media trend that you just don't understand?
That's a good one. Um, let me have a think.
Yeah, yeah. There's plenty of them. That's the
I I I want to say because I'm like, why are you doing this? It's I guess there's two.
okay.
Everyone turning them into AI themselves into AI characters. I Seeing grown adults do it just drives me insane. To each your own.
Sure, sure,
Totally
sure.
cool. But I can't wrap my head around it. I can't get behind it. It is the silliest thing to me, and I'm like, oh, there's another cartoon person. I I I don't know. I can't connect it. Maybe I'm too out of touch. I'm too old. I
No,
don't
no, no, no. I mean,
know
it lines up really nicely with your ethics. I mean, think about the water waste and energy that we're
that we're using to create
consuming
it.
to. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then the next one, I see instances where I'm just like, all right, that's cool. But there's a song that plays, and then it's so and so thought I was, let's just say, so and so thought I was in the military. I said I did time or I served. And then it's holy effing airball, and it's them in prison. And I'm just like, the whole trend of holding effing airball, besides like the Olympic gymnasts and stuff, I'm just like, why? Why? A, you're selling out this person, whoever it was, and then you're
Mhm.
bringing up sometimes controversial things or alienating a large fan base that you have that is trying to do something. And I'm just like, okay, I can't get behind this. I don't understand making a post to degrade someone to lift yourself up or degrade hundreds or thousands of other people with whatever you're doing if they're attempting to get to whatever level just to build yourself up. Those two things drive me insane.
I feel strongly about the holy effing airball thing too. So I
It's
don't get
everywhere.
it. So yeah, and I wish it weren't.
Yeah.
All right, last question. We'll let you go. If you could have an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life, what would you pick?
Dried mango.
Oh, all right. It's like that. That was real fast.
Dude, I can't even tell you. I could plow through like way too many bags. Probably not good with the sugar content, but
It's natural sugar, right?
oh, I'm obsessed. I'm
Okay.
obsessed. I don't need anything that is like an expensive monetary thing. I don't need unlimited amounts of money. You give me mango. I'm yours. I don't even care. We could be anywhere. It could be the worst day of my life. And you're just
Dried
like, hey,
mango.
want some dried mango? You and I are besties. I'm
Wow.
I'm there. It's a good day. Obsessed.
You heard it here, guys. If you want to get in touch with Michael, some dried mango.
That's
Um,
all I need.
Yep. All right. Well, with that, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure getting to know you again, to our audience, as well. I'm sure they're always happy to have repeat guests. One last time, AROVE, where can people find it? I want to make sure that they can get their hands on it if they can.
Thank you. It's arovebeauty.com, and it's AROVE Beauty on all socials. And then if you want to check me out, it's Michael Dueñas on all socials.
Boom. Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Jeff. I mean, hustle. He's got it going on, right?
I mean, this poor guy, he's not sleeping.
He's not sleeping. He's grinding it. Wish him all of the success, all of the most success on his new product launch. Be sure to hit subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Volume Up is a Tease media production. This episode was produced by Monica Hickey and Madeline Hickey. James Arwaje is our editor and audio engineer. Thank you to the creative team for the custom Volume Up theme song and for putting together the graphics and videos for this episode.